Coming up on our show, we'll look into the financial impacts of the season and how the magic of Christmas costs more than people think.
It's crazy, it all adds up.
And we'll look at the tasty side of the holidays and walk you through making delicious buttery walnut thumbprint cookies.
The cookie breaks apart a bit and just mold it back together. You want a nice little cookie.
And later in the show, we'll explain the environmental impacts of the season and what you could do to try to reduce waste and go green this Christmas.
Waste at Christmas time, and that it can be done and still in a very fun, kind of perky way.
Hello and welcome to Humber, the Humber News Holiday Special, coming to you from the Broadcast Center here at North Campus. I'm Tom Parisi.
And I'm Crystal Burney. Today on our show, we have the top movies to see this winter, tips on how to protect yourself from the weather, and Twittens. We'll tell you all about this Canadian invention. But first, Tom has our top story.
The Governor of the Bank of Canada has some advice for Canadians this time of year. Stop borrowing money. Mark Carney says household debts levels in Canada are alarmingly high. Some conventional wisdom might have Canadians spending their way to economic recovery, but as Simon Rice reports, leaner might be wiser this holiday season.
Times may be tight for the average Canadian, but that may not be changing their holiday spending habits. Shoppers are making their annual pilgrimage to department stores, spending money and lots of it.
Bigger, better, and more expensive.
A recent survey by the Royal Bank of Canada found that despite the state of the economy, Canadians plan on spending $1,137 on average this holiday season. For 3-year-old Adelaide, the magic of the holiday season is just beginning. But for her mother, Sarah Wood, that magic comes with financial pressures.
Decorate the house, make it feel festive, have like a Christmas tree and lights up and stuff like that, and it's crazy, it all adds up.
Wood says she tries to keep the holidays more about the values she hopes little Adelaide will learn to cherish.
I love to cook, I love food, so trying to keep the whole vibe of it more about family being together and sharing a good meal and sharing a nice moment, as opposed to putting the emphasis, especially, being an example to the little ones, on the presents.
According to a recent survey, the Canadian collective debt load is 146%. Put in other words, for every $1 that we earn, we owe $1.46. And while a robust holiday shopping season may be good for a sputtering economy, it's not obvious Canadian shoppers can afford it. That debt load is a concern to Tom Hamza, president of the nonprofit organization Investors Education Fund.
We have continued to maintain or in fact increase our household debt. There's a whole lot of reasons around this. In other situations like in the US, they've taken this opportunity to tighten up and change their household debt situation.
Hamza says that despite our economy's reliance on holiday spending, Canadians shouldn't spend money they don't have.
From our perspective, if the economy is being spiked by money that people don't have, then it's not a true spike.
For Sarah Wood, a stay-at-home mom with dreams of one day starting her own business, the financial pressures of the holiday season hit close to home.
How about the biggest one? The biggest one.
Simon Rice, Humber News.
If you're enjoying an alcoholic beverage over the holidays, you should know police have new rules to combat drinking and driving. The law took effect December 1st. Blowing a blood alcohol level between 0.5 and 0.8% now results in an automatic 3-day license suspension. Blowing above 0.8 or refusing a breath test means a 7-day impoundment of your vehicle and an impaired driving charge. Police hope the new rules will make drivers think twice about having a drink, especially now that a recent survey says 1 in 5 Ontarians admit to sometimes driving, even when they think they are impaired.
Now with the story behind the wind chill and some tips on staying warm this season, here's winter weather reporter Maddie Jo Tilipa.
When winter arrives, the weather forecasters start telling us what the wind chill factor is. By knowing the wind chill temperature, we can take action and dress warmly to prevent hypothermia and frostbite. But what is wind chill exactly? Wind chill is the temperature we feel on our skin when going outside. The wind steals our body heat by blowing away the warm air surrounding our skin, making us feel colder. According to Environment Canada, wind chills of -70 have been recorded in the northern communities of our country. Brr! According to CanadianDriver.com, the wind chill factor doesn't affect objects, such as buildings or cars. They stay the same temperature no matter how windy it is outside. Some cold safety tips are knowing the weather forecast, dressing warmly, staying dry, and keeping active in the cold. Pay attention to the wind chill temperature because you're going to want to dress accordingly. Now back to you in the studio.
Stay tuned. When we come back, a report on how you can have a greener Christmas. And Jared Lalonde gets his hands on some Christmas baking.
Coming up, I'll show you how to make an easy, quick Christmas cookie that'll jingle bell rock your world. After the break.